This is video number 8 in our 1914 Axis and Allies series. Video number 8 means we're on the second half of turn 4 with the United Kingdom. And they have got themselves a little infantry artillery by. It's quite straightforward for them. But their movements are less than straightforward. They are moving into the Entente's battle in a big way, making sure that they're helping out the French on one side, helping out the Russians on the other side, and advancing up towards the Ottomans from Dune South. I shall quickly show you. Over here in France, a couple of the guys from Picardy that were landed there last time are moving in. We have a battle flag, not a movement flag, which means we're going to be attacking these one German infantry and 2 artilleries. We're also taking this small fleet across the channel, picking up 2 artillery, dropping them off in Picardy, and 2 more infantry, and putting them obviously in the same place, if my fingers will decide to work today. That's a nice big roll for the Brits. That's 6 units against the Germans' 3 units, and obviously with French guys there to support things if it all goes belly up. There's also obviously more French can move through at a slightly slower pace because of this advanced move we made into Alsace. Really one step ahead of what we wanted to do, but it was too good an opportunity to miss from last time. Down in Africa, things are just moving that way. I'll sort that out off camera, that's not a problem. But with our forces attacking Mesopotamia to prevent the Ottomans from going up and attacking Russia by the back door, we're doing a similar thing as to what we've done several times before with a sea assault. One big battleship having a crack, and infantry artillery coming round on the coast. These 3 guys who were in Persia after the Persian campaign, they're going to be moving through into Mesopotamia, so we've got a nice big roll against the Ottomans. The plane's going to come over, giving us air superiority, and the 2 guys left from Bombay are moving into Persia. Here's the battle in Mesopotamia. The first thing we have to do is give the artillery from Mesopotamia a couple of rolls at the invading army on the amphibious assault. They get 2 at 3, and both of them miss. That wasn't very good for them. And then our battleship for the Brits rolls in at 4s. That gets 1 hit. The air superiority will promote 2 of their artillery up to 4s. We roll them first. They both miss. 2 of the artilleries go in at 3s and get 2 more hits, and that actually is enough. That's the battle done as far as the attack is concerned. It's now what the Ottomans can reply at. They have 3 at 3. As if they do any damage, and just the 1 hit, so an overwhelming victory for the Brits there in Mesopotamia. Next up will be the battle in Belgium. Well, I guess news of the victory in Mesopotamia will have reached the London and been passed on to the guys in Picardy as they advance into Belgium. Let's see how they roll on the board. Will they be buoyed by the success of their brothers? They're going to be rolling 6 at 3 and get 1, 2, 3 hits. They've got plenty enough on that first roll. It's now what the Germans can do in reply. They of course have 3 at 3 and get just the 1 hit again. So the Entente is on the rise. I believe Belgium is already aligned to France, so they were taking the IPCs for that, but the French helped the Brits out in Nigeria, so why not? Next up will be the Ottomans and their battles down in the Syrian desert and Smyrna, Transjordan, etc. The Ottoman buy is in front of us. It's a largely defensive by, because that is all they can do, largely go into defensive mode. We go a step closer. With the multinational force invading from Transjordan, or at least taking Transjordan, and a possibility of Italians coming this way back through to Greece, they're going to move in one of their infantry guys from Constantinople into Greece, just to give us 3 in there. It's not much, but it's more than nothing. We swing to the right, and the Constantinople forces will themselves move into Ankara, and the guys from the Syrian desert will gird their loins and hold off, looking 2 ways at the same time. Smyrna is not going to try to attack Transjordan. I think the best move for Ottoman will be to get some more units on the ground and hope that Transjordan doesn't come forward. They can only come forward in dribs and drabs because of the multinational side of that force, so we can't expect them to go too heavy from that side. It's probably going to come from the eastern side, from Persia, from India, forces moving through from that way, where the Brits can reinforce in their Bombay factory. So the the Ottoman move is loading units into Constantinople, raising these armies, and that is all that they're going to do. Well, the Italian budget is about as bereft of income as the Ottomans. They're both on 16 IPCs, but the Italians have got an opportunity to gather a few more. They're going to raise infantry artillery. They're going to be shipping across the Mediterranean with the 2 guys from Naples and attacking from Albania into Naples, just to be really annoying to the Ottomans, if nothing else. They're going to be moving the rest of their units on a forward cycle. More guys, can we see all this? More guys from Venice, who I believe I called Vienna more than once in this video because I'm stupid like that, into Tyrol to support that attack. Guys from Tuscany into Venice, and guys from Rome into Tuscany. Pretty predictable, usual kind of movements, although I might put 2 guys that way for the hell of it. I'll sort that out with the right figures in a minute. The reason why we're doing it up here and being more belligerent than our budget really can allow is that the Austro-Hungarians have got tanks, have got fighter planes. If they get involved in this battle with infantry and artillery to absorb hits as cheaper units, those tanks could start playing a bigger part in this war than we actually want them to. If we can get them involved in a battle 1-for-1, yes, attacking tanks can absorb hits, but defending tanks can't. And even if they are the attacking units, if we get some shots back at them and there's no infantry artillery to absorb the hits, it's going to be a big financial penalty for the Austro-Hungarians for getting those units in place. So I shall divvy up the battle board with the Tyrolean attack and see you there. These are the Italian forces closest to the camera. They have the 4 artillery in there promoting forward the infantry, so we've got 8 at 3s. Hope for a good roll. And I'm seeing just the 3 hits, not as good as we hoped for, but well, just under average, I would suggest. 5 infantry going in at 2s and get 3 hits. Ooh, that's nice. So, what can the Austro-Hungarians do in their reply? They have slightly numerically less, but they're all rolling at 3s. And I'm seeing an underroll by them. I think 1, 2, 3 hits. So, yep, just the 3. That was quite an important battle there in Tyrolia, and I believe that the amount of damage that the Italians have done has been very telling. The Austro-Hungarians are down to two artillery and 1 infantry. They're going to have to be very careful, sort of rolling those tanks in on tippy toes. But they do have that plane there as well, so we can expect the Austro-Hungarians to have a pop back in turn 5. In Greece, there it is, and here it is on the board. The battleship gets to attack first because there is no Ottoman artillery. It rolls in at a 4 and predictably misses. Couldn't it have barn door with a bus, the battleships these days? 1 artillery from the Italians promotes 1 of the infantry. They roll at 3s and get 2 hits. And the naked infantry goes in at 2 and misses. So that unit, that region will stay alive, though will stay contested. 3 at 3 in reply from the Greeks, and they get 2 hits. Ooh, that's painful. This is the American buy on turn 4 in this game, and it really does mark a turning point in the war, because the Americans, they're coming. They have got 6 transport units, 1, 2 that can move into Sea Zone 7, with a protective fleet of a battleship and a cruiser, and they can take all these units all on there. There's a couple of planes, lots of artillery and some infantry. The American war machine, it's up and running. Look out, the Central Powers is all I can say. Last but not least, as I say in all my videos, when I remember to say them, but I do do it anyway, I make these videos on behalf of a charity called the Cure of Parkinson's Trust. You'll find a link to them just down there somewhere, and also on the banner on the channel page. If you happen to have a spare IPC, a spare Euro, Yen, Yak or Sardinia that you could send to them, I'm sure they'd appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you in video number 9, when we will see what the Americans can do and whether the Central Powers can get through and reinforce Alsace before the French come piling through, or when the French come piling through.